What is going on, YouTube? It's another episode of After the Whistle with me, Xavier Chase, and Jaden Valentine. Today we got some juicy action or topics for you guys today. Jaden, how you doing, my man?
Doing great. Sixers doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah.
Hey, man, if you guys just go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll post more content out there for you guys. Help grow the channel. I think we're at like 25 subs. We're growing each every day. God, I can't get my words out right now. Holy hell. But let's jump straight into it. So today, the first topic I had, and it's been on my mind for like the last couple of days. Are the Memphis Grizzlies in trouble? Are they in? Well, I already know how you feel about it because we talked about it on the last episode. If you haven't, go check out the last episode. Great episode with me, Jaden, and Q. But I want to hear your take. Are they in danger of missing out on the playoffs completely?
Yes. They're insanely in danger. I feel the best way to look at it is a team like the Lakers last year. They started off 3-10 and they just were playing 500 ball after that until near the trade deadline where they started to like kick it up a little bit. This team doesn't have a LeBron James or AD type player to help them elevate them to the next level. Even if Ja comes back, I believe they're going to be 5-20 at most when Ja comes back. Because this team is losing to very bad teams. Like, they have no reason to be losing to. Like, yes, they played the Nuggets and lost. Okay, yeah, obviously most teams are going to play the Nuggets and lose. Probably every team will lose to the Nuggets this year at least once. But they lost to the Portland Trailblazers. I watched Portland play live, and it was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen. It just looks like guys out there just trying to get a contract, like trying to get traded. Really, like that's
Yeah,
what it looked like. There is
definitely.
no team ball out there. It was shot chucking and DeAndre Ayton catching a rebound, and they lost to that. Like, their first win was against the Portland Trailblazers, like next game because they had played them twice in a row. And like even that game, it wasn't even like, oh wow, Memphis is dogging them. Like it was like, oh
They won.
man.
They ended up winning by like 12 that game.
Yes, they did. They did end
They
up
won by
winning by
12.
12, but it looked like while I was watching the game, it looked like Trailblazers like just one run away and catching up, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah.
definitely. I made a video about this on our TikTok page, and they are definitely in grave danger of missing out on the playoffs completely. Like not even making the plan. Um, because it's not even about the whole Josh situation. I mean, that is a big part of it. That's like 27 and 8, 28 points that you're losing out on right there. So that's a huge load of your offense and that you're missing out on. But not only that, you're missing um, you're missing Steven Adams for the whole entire year. He was your best rebounder. Like he was the best rebounder. He could play defense on centers. So now that way, Jaren Jackson isn't in foul trouble. He can't stay on the floor. He's averaging like 3.5 like fouls a game. It's ridiculous. Jaren Jackson, um, he can't stay on the floor. Steven Adams is no longer there, so you're not getting any rebounds. Now you're forcing Jaren Jackson to guard these bigs, and you lost Tyus Jones. Was the best backup point guard, is the best backup point guard in the league. His assist to turnover ratio was amazing. He really kept it together when Ja was out, when he wasn't playing, when he was hurt. Tyus Jones kept that together. Brandon Clark is still out for his Achilles. That was a very energy hustle guy um, for your team. He got rebounds, played defense, caught lobs. He really brought that energy off the bench. And for a lot of hell that Dylan Brooks receives, he's an all NBA defender. That's very hard to replace. So all those combined, along with Ja, just doesn't make for a great recipe. You lost a lot of pieces and you replaced them with Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart. Like it's not looking too good. They're like 1-6 right now. Desmond Bane's averaging like 26, but it's really not looking good for him. I don't think they'll miss the playoffs. I think they can make the play in. I still have faith because with Ja coming back, he'll still have 65 games to play. Can I see them winning 38 of those games? I could see it, but they're definitely going to have a uphill battle because they just lost a lot, and due to injuries or free agency trades, job being out, that's just a lot that they missed out on.
See, I'm hoping they miss out on it because in the last episode, Q
That
bet
is
me
true.
that $20. So,
That is true. So yeah,
but
hey,
another thing you gotta think about is when Ja comes back, there's a high possibility he's not even gonna play every single game he's back for. Like he's gonna have some little injuries every now and then,
mm,
and like
yeah,
it's just not worth it for real. For real, if I'm Memphis, like why
right.
risk the health of my young star that has this crazy athleticism? You don't want that to go away because then he's like not as he won't be the same after if he loses that. So, because he's not, in my opinion, not skilled enough as a player really to thrive without that. So
So
it really just be a season just to rebuild and retool. You guys been competing for the past couple years. This season it's so competitive already. You might as well just like do what
chalk
the
it.
Mavericks did last year for real, for real.
I think they definitely need to make a trade. I think, well, they already made a bunch of trades. I don't think Marcus Smart should have been one of them. Obviously, the Raptors hold OG Anunoby like he's Jesus or like he's LeBron James, but they desperately need wing depth. Like desperately, Desmond Bain, like he's good and all, but like I from the games I've seen, him and Marcus Smart haven't been able to like to gel. Like because Desmond Bain's so used to playing with Ja, who's a ball dominant guard, who's able to score, and Marcus Smart is like the complete opposite of that. A
Yeah,
hard nosed defender, not as ball dominant. Well, he's not ball dominant at all, to be honest.
yeah,
Doesn't really run any offense. He doesn't create instant offense. So now Desmond Bain has to create so much more. And Jaren Jackson also has to take a lot of the scoring load as well. And while he's a, would you give him a, would you say he's an average scorer or he's above average?
I
Yeah,
mean, from I guess he's an above average scorer just because there's so like a lot of guys in NBA can't really score like that.
yeah, because he does like he is like he can spot up for threes. He doesn't give me like instant offense though. You're not like
No, no,
we
no.
gotta go down to the floor. Jaren Jackson hasn't gotten a touch yet. Let's go ahead and feed the ball to Jaren. Um, so the Grizzlies again, like you said, there is no AD, there is no LeBron for the Grizzlies. But we've seen it happen before where teams have been really rocky to start the season. When the Celtics made the finals that one year, they were really rocky to start. Like
Oh
I don't think a
yeah,
lot of people understand like how rough of a time it was for them. And then once it got to the All Star break, you know the switch flipped, and here they are into the NBA Finals. Um, I don't think it's impossible, but it definitely will be a lot harder now, especially because you're 1-6 right now, and Jaws got what 18 games left? Yeah, 18 games left if my math's right. Yeah, but on to our next topic. Um, are the
I got
Mavericks?
one more thing. I got one
Go
thing about
ahead.
the
Go ahead. Go
Grizzlies.
ahead. Go ahead.
Their team is filled with play finishers, right? Which is a lot of guys in the NBA. There's just no playmakers. So, and you're trying to have Desmond Bain, who's a really good play finisher. You got him out here trying to play make, and
Mm,
it's like he's not going. He can't really create offense for himself like that. Like
yeah.
he's decent at it, and he's getting it somewhat done. But nah, he's not that guy. Not that guy. Not that
I
guy
just
now.
Yeah, I just like, and plus, I really am harping on those players. Those players that they traded away, like I said, Tyus Jones and Steven Adams and Brandon Clark not being there really took a lot of pressure off of Jaren Jackson. But
Mm-hmm.
now, like they're not there, like they're hurt. We don't even know when Brandon Clark's coming back, and it's just really creating a bunch of problems right now. They don't have chemistry. I think D Rose is like hurt now. Xavier Tillman's not going to play tomorrow. It's just they're loaded with injuries and just top that with like chemistry issues right now. It's not looking good down in Memphis. It's really not.
Man, it's crazy how like quick a franchise can change. Like just from
Yeah.
just look at last year, the start of the season. You're like, oh man, these guys are crazy bench. They're all good. They're all like young. It's crazy, all healthy, and then boom.
Like that's the same thing what happened to the Warriors that one year. I think they had came off the finals in 19, came off the finals. They lost the Raptors, and then obviously KD left, and then Clay was out for the entire year. I think Curry was then like hurt for like
Yeah,
majority of the
Curry's hurt.
year. He
Yeah,
was hurt, so like you just had. I think Draymond was hurt, so you had guys like Poole playing, and I think it was like Moses Moody. Like you just like that's when how they ended up getting like that
Devon Looney.
yeah, like just like
Loon,
that, like they went from NBA Finals to winning like 17 games, and then right back the next year, Clay comes back, he's
yep.
healthy. Steph comes back, he's healthy. Draymond's back and full. Now you still have Loon Dog. Jordan Poole's gonna be,
Oh no, no,
rising
no,
up.
no! It wasn't Jordan Poole. It was D'Angelo Russell. That's right. I forgot all about that era. It was D'Angelo Russell
That
out
was
there.
weird.
That
That
was
was
so
weird.
weird. That was so weird.
That was he only played like what half the season with them.
Yeah, yeah, he
It
got
was so
shipped out real
weird.
quick, but that was a weird time.
But we're getting on to the Warriors in another segment.
All right, yeah.
But for the next topic I had was the Dallas Mavericks. Are they contenders or are they pretenders?
Them boys some contenders, dog. They are contenders. I've been saying this since last year. I was like, they're gonna get the pick. See, my prediction was it was gonna shoot up to be the first overall pick, and then we'll get one B. But that didn't happen. But it's all right. Derek Lively, he's great. He's great. He's great.
Yeah, I
Y'all
think he's
might y'all
starting.
might not know this, but Luka is my favorite player in the league right now. He's been my favorite player in the league for a couple years. He is the truth. Grant Williams playing incredible.
Oh my
Kyrie's
god,
okay, but
he played. I watched the Mavericks when they played my Bulls, and like if I didn't know any better, I would have thought like Grant Williams was like Ray Allen. And like he hit like I believe like he hit like 5, 6 threes. Tim Hardaway hit like 6, 7 threes. They were just lighting us up every time them boys caught the ball. It was just three
Mhm.
after three after three. So to give you some Luca stats for all you Luca fans, Luca is currently averaging 31.6 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. Now, granted, it's only a small sample size. They've only played like what are we in 7 games? They've only played 7 games, but just from that small, I think he's had like a 40-point game in there. I think he's had like two 40-point games in there. Like Luca definitely is the truth. But Kyrie, I feel like they kind of relegated him to like being a spot up shooter. He hasn't been the greatest. Granted, like I said, it's only been 7 games. Kyrie is averaging 20 points, 8 assists, which for Kyrie, 8 assists seems pretty high. Like
Yeah, that's
that is
pretty high.
pretty high for Kyrie averaging 8 assists. I know he's also been hurt too, so that could
Also, that's pretty high for Luka having 9 assists.
yeah. And then but Kyrie is also shooting 20% from three, which um for Kyrie standards, that's well for anybody's standards,
Dog
that's not
water.
great. Yeah, that's not great. And he's shooting 43% from the field. Again, for Kyrie standards, the are we gonna say he's like the best finisher in the and the NBA is probably the best finisher in history. He's probably like top five, maybe even top two, not two. He's not having a great year, but also you're playing with Luca, who's extremely ball dominant.
Man, that
Um,
boy Kyrie like 35. Give him a break.
it's I mean Kyrie. I don't know how I feel about the Mavs. It's just against the juggernauts in the West because again you have the Nuggets. I don't know how I feel about Derek Lively guarding Jokic.
Wow, I didn't think about that one. Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
that
bad.
that, and then we'll talk about this. I'm gonna skip this one team because we're gonna talk about them next. And I don't know. I don't know. They don't really play defense at all.
You don't need to in today's league.
No, but you do though. You need to play defense. Like if you look again, if you go back and look at these previous champions, they all play defense. Like
The league
again,
has
the Lake
changed, man.
nah, the Lakers of 2020 play defense. The Bucks play defense. The Nuggets play defense. The Warriors,
I was about to say, you better not forget the Warriors. They
the
play some
Warrior,
great.
their whole dynasty was about defense. Iggy, Draymond, Clay, all NBA defenders. And then Marie, you had Maurice Spates. I only know him because
I
I
thought
only
you were
really
about to
know
say
him.
Maurice Cheeks, and I was like, whoa, what are you talking
No,
about?
no, no,
But
no, 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 no. And then who else? They also had what's his face?
Kevin Looney.
They did have Loon Dog, but they had Andrew Bogut. So
Yeah,
like
but
these teams, you got to be able to play defense. You have to be able to play defense. We've seen time and time again where teams have just tried to load up a bunch of talent on offense and it just doesn't work. Like
Phoenix Suns.
the Phoenix Suns, they also haven't been healthy. I don't think Beal hasn't played a single game all year. He's
Yep.
been hurt. I think Book has been in and out of the lineup. He's been
Yep.
hurt. KD's like carrying that team on his shoulders. But I will say this: I was never the biggest Bol fan.
This
Can we
guy was
pl-
just Bobo.
can we please, please stop trying to promote Bol and be like, oh, he's good. The teams aren't using him. The teams aren't using him. If he was any use to any team, he'd be playing. There's a reason why he's not playing. It's because he's not good. It's because he's not good. Let's just face the fact. Cam Reddish, he has up and down games. There's some games I'm watching. I'm like, he looks pretty good. There's other games I'm like, wow, you really suck. I think he's shooting like 14% from three or something like that. It's like Cam Reddish, this is like your last stop of the league. Like if it doesn't work out here, you're done. Like those two guys, especially. Like I'm just being serious. Like I'm just being honest. Like those two guys, like
All day Saturday. All he did was talk about Bobo and Cam Reddish. All he
bro,
talked about.
I'm telling because people. What makes me upset is people try to they. I think it was Complex or Bleacher Report, one of those two, where when Bobo was traded, they put him on the graphic with KD, Book, and Beal, like he was part of the Big Four, and I was like, dude, you guys are setting him up for failure because I was like, dude, if Bobo gets DMPs in the playoffs, are any of us surprised?
No. But
No.
would you got all right. To in their defense, they only had like 4 people on the roster then. So like who else are they gonna put up there?
But still, I mean, you still had DeAndre Ayton at the time.
He was getting traded. Everyone knew.
I mean, yeah, but it's just like I kind of want people to be stop trying to blame the teams where they're like Bobo needs to be playing. They're not using Bobo well. He's just not good. He has flashes and he has moments where he looks good, but he's just not. He doesn't play good defense. He's a streaky shooter, and again, he doesn't have. I think Shaq said something like, "What's the difference between Wemby and Bobo?"
Outrageous.
And yes, so I'm like, dude, there is a vast difference from Wemby this season. Like, yeah, he has his up and down games. He's gonna have games where he has 38, and he's gonna have games where he has 16. But you see where the potential, like, oh yeah, we made the right pick. Like this man is a monster on both ends. And with Bobo, you never saw that. You never saw that.
Also,
And
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I'm not in the locker room. I'm not at practice or anything. But everyone talks about Bobo not having no work ethic, not caring about the game, just
I
out
heard
there.
that too.
Yeah, and I actually saw. I literally right after you talked like about him for like 8 hours straight Saturday. I literally saw a video of Gilbert Arenas talking about him and how he just has no work ethic or whatever.
None. I just believe like if he was any good, he'd be playing, but he's not. And there's a reason for that. Teams just like Cam Thomas is not playing. And you
Yep.
could say, "Oh, well, look at Cam Thomas. He wasn't playing, but he's good." Okay, there is times where that does happen, but a lot of the times guys just aren't good. He came wasn't he like hurt? Didn't he like get drafted and he was hurt like and plus
Yeah.
I just no. But I wasn't even trying to get on Bol Bol. It was that's just turned
Also,
to
I
a
just want to
tangent.
say He's shooting 100% from the field this season. I'm just saying.
On how many minutes?
Um, Let me look. Wait. Like played 2 games,
Wow.
3.5 minutes per game,
Wow.
1 point, 100%. I'm just saying.
What's crazy, I saw a graphic today and it was about James Wiseman and it had like it was like his first like 6 games and it had DMP, 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 6 minutes played, DMP, DMP, DMP.
Hmm.
Just quickly, we don't gotta like go into this like for a long time. Is he a bust? Can we label him a bust?
Yes, he's a bust. Yeah, definitely.
He's a
Yeah.
bust. Okay. Um, do we give him the injury pass?
No, I don't think so.
You don't give him the injury
He
pass
wasn't injured that long. Yeah.
because when he came in, I feel like when he came into the league, he was hurt. Was
Yes.
He
Yes.
was
He
hurt,
had
right?
something going on, but he
And
got
I know.
he
Go ahead.
wasn't out for that long though.
Yeah. So we can he's a bust. It's official.
Yeah, he's a bust. Yes.
Okay. But no, I wasn't even trying to get on Bobo. It was Yusuf Nurkic. I don't even know why they thought this is the guy we need. This is the guy that's going to change our fortune. He's not that good either. Like
I know he's not.
He's not that good either. He's slow-footed. He's not good in the pick and rolls. I don't understand
Hey,
what
but
you
he's
guys.
good for fantasy. I'll tell you that. He is
What?
good
Oh
for
my
fantasy.
God. First of all, speaking about
The
fantasy.
rebounds.
Speaking about fantasy, Josh Giddey, please. I need you, please. I need you to play like how I know you can play. You're a triple double threat every night. Josh Giddey, please stop giving me 10 fantasy points. Please. Thank you. But Alfred Sengun, you're my guy.
Oh, hey, he's a goat fantasy.
You're my guy. I got you for most improved player. I've been rooting for you. My stock I just keep putting stock into Alfred Sengun. If you haven't,
Tyrese Maxey got it.
try and trade for Alfred Sengun if you can. If you drafted Alfred Sengun, you know what you're doing. But anyway.
Also, back to the Bull thing. Last thing about the Bull thing.
Go.
Everyone says he didn't get opportunity. He started 33 games for Orlando Magic.
Literally. And that's my whole thing. I'm like, he didn't have a chance. 33 games, you had your opportunity to take the starting spot, to get a contract with the Magic, and you didn't. That I just be like, I guess last thing. I believe if you're good, they would have kept you, but they didn't.
Right, exactly.
So please stop trying to promote Bobo into being the next.
And he's not even that good of a shooter.
He's not.
He puts up barely league average stats.
People see his highlights on House of Highlights and they're like, "Oh my God, he's so good. He's the next." He's not. He's going to be he's a journeyman big man, guys. Like, let's calm it down. So this is a team I didn't really mention before. We kind of talked about them here and there, but are the Warriors a real threat in the West?
Oh yeah, for sure. Never count out Curry. That's all I gotta say about that. Never count out Curry.
He is playing amazing basketball right now. He's averaging Curry's averaging, I think, how old is Curry? 33 or 4? 35? I don't know. I think he's like mid 30s. He's not young now, but Curry is averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and like 4 assists on 40% shooting. Or no, 40% from 3. Curry, like, I don't even understand, like, do these guys just get better with age? Like, what is going on?
Age like fine wine.
But then, I guess we shouldn't say that, because he has the senior citizen next to him, Christopher Paul. He's averaging 8 points and 8 assists. Can you guess what his percentage is from 3?
Bro, it's probably like 10% from 3.
No, he's 13% from 3 right now.
Oh, he's higher. Okay.
He is higher. So I've been seeing the Warriors, and I'm like, wow, they're like, nobody's talking about the Warriors. Like, they're talking about Curry, but they're not talking about the Warriors, though.
Hey, this happened. This happened the one year they won champ 2022. This happened 2022. Nobody talked about it.
Nobody's talking about the Warriors. And I'm just they lost that first game because, they didn't have Draymond, and Sabonis was just doing whatever he was doing, and the Kings looked dead in the water. Like, first off, with no De'Aaron Fox, that team looks dead in the water. I don't know what's going on with them. But the Warriors, I'm actually kind of surprised. This is kind of working out a little bit more than I thought it was going to work out. Um, Chris Paul's like assist to turnover ratio is like it's crazy. Like he'll have like 13 assists, 0 turnovers, 11 assists, 1 turnover. Like it's crazy. He has like a great. He's always been that. He's Chris Paul. Like he's always had an amazing assist to turnover ratio. But I'm very surprised. Again, it's only 7 games, small sample size. But I'm very surprised and I'm very impressed on how they've played because this has worked a lot better than anticipated.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I don't know. I think, obviously, like you said, you can't count Steph Curry out. He is, by some people's standards, the greatest point guard of all time. He's in my top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah, he's in my top 10. He's
10.
in my top 10.
Top 10. Not top 5, top 10?
Top 10. Or are you saying he should be in my top 5?
He should be in top 5.
Oh, no, he's in my top 10. There's a couple people I got ahead of him. But
outrageous. That
obviously, you got
something that's like good.
We'll say.
No. Say it right now. I gotta know it right now. Right now.
My 5 or my 10? My 5.
I need every single person up until Steph Curry.
Okay, so in no specific order, I got LeBron, Jordan
as a point guard.
Oh no, not as a point guard. I thought we were talking about all time.
You said point guard.
Oh no, I said some people regard him as the best point guard. I said he's in my top 10. I meant he's in my top 10 for like all time.
See, I thought you were talking about point guards. I'm like, yo,
no,
right now. Like,
he's top 2. It's hard. Like, I think he might be the best point guard of all time.
That boy number 1. That boy is number 1.
I think he might be number 1. He's really transcend like the game. Like he really
look at this.
Go ahead.
Magic can't do that. He can't do that.
You know why? Because he's dribbling like this and he's backing your point guard down. But like, I'm just like he's really like. First of all, do you remember like back in like 2014, 2015 when like they were starting to get good and he was winning MVPs? Yeah. When like everybody hated Steph Curry for some reason? Or was it just me? Am I the only person that remember that?
Everybody.
Like there was like a diss track made about him, and I was like, I just hate, like, why does everybody hate this man? Because he's good. But anyway.
See, but at that time, everybody hated on every NBA player. Like,
that's true.
You couldn't be a star and not get hated on. Like,
that's true.
I don't know what it was that everyone was doing back then.
I think
2014 was a wild time.
I think Curry's probably like, would you say he's the most liked player in the league? Or is like
he's
still
the most liked player now, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most. I think he's like, if he's
there's
not,
there's a lot of James Harden fans who don't like Giannis.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would say Curry's probably like the most liked player. He's chill, like he's still good. He's still like, I think like old heads probably don't like him, but who cares?
I mean, old heads like him now because he got rings.
Yeah, but even if they didn't like him, like your favorite player is, I don't know, Kevin Johnson. Like, okay, I'm like, you can go Sidney Moncrief. Like, I didn't expect the Warriors to play this well. I really didn't, but I guess. Again, like you said, when you have Steph Curry, anything's possible, and you can't ever count them out. Is there anything else you had on the Warriors?
They're just hooping. That's all I really got. That's all I got.
So, we're gonna go to your boy, or your former Sixer, former Net, former Rocket, now current Clipper. So James Harden had a quote at the press conference when he got to the Clippers. Before the game, he had quoted and saying, "Me leaving Brooklyn, going to Philadelphia, I was thinking I was going to retire a Sixer. The front office had other plans." Then he followed up by saying, "I am not a system player. I am a system." So as a Sixer fan, What do you make of that?
The thing about James Harden is he doesn't realize is he's old. Do you honestly think you're going to go to one of these 30 teams and they're going to choose to build around you? No, that's not going to happen. There's already like 15 superstars that would be better to build around than you. And there's like 15 young guys that are like in their first 3 seasons that would be better to build around than you. So, no, Harden, you're not the system. Your system hasn't won yet.
I was just
You're
about to
not
say that.
proven.
I was just about to say that. Oh my god. I was just gonna be like, yo, you were the system in Houston for what, 7, 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were the system, and guess what your system did? Missed 27 straight threes. That's what your system did. That's what happened. You lost to the Warriors after being what? They weren't they like up 3-2? And Katie was Katie still there? I think Katie was there. I don't think he had gotten hurt yet. But you guys were up 3-2 against the Warriors. Blown that one. You guys what? And then I remember one year you had Manu Ginobili block your shot in a game
Oh,
7.
that was a good one. Yeah.
That happened. Let me think. The Nets, some people give him a pass because he was hurt. I don't know.
Nah. Harden's Dookie. Harden is Dookie because he almost lost to the Chris Paul Thunder. I'll never forget that series.
That
That
was
was
the
one of my
bubble.
favorite. That was one of my favorite series of all time. Like to watch. I was watching every single game of that because I was a fool and I had the Thunder going to the playoffs that season, and everyone said, "No, they're about to win like 5 games," and they ended up in the playoffs.
They did. Everybody did count them out.
I was
Everybody did
hoping,
count them out. I
I was
remember.
hoping, because Chris Paul is one of my favorite players of all time, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I hope this man leads this team to the conference finals, bro, and he almost beat the. I mean, if you look at the game, like this, I'm pretty sure it was 4-1 in that first round or whatever, or second round or whatever happened, and it was like 4-1 series, but every single game was close.
Every single game was close. It
Every
did. I
single game.
remember. I can't remember how it came. What the series ended up being, but I remember every game did come down to the wire. I remember because there was like a graphic that came out on like Bleacher Report, and they were like, "Oh, the Thunder's chances of making the playoffs," and it was like 0.5%.
It was
Yeah,
0.04.
yeah. Then Chris Paul got because that team they had it was Chris Paul, Shea, Delino, Steven Adams was still there, Dennis Schroeder.
Lou Dort.
Ooh, that was the Lou Dort coming out party because everybody was like, "Yo, this dude's
Yeah.
huge." Pause.
And
But
he kept raining threes, bro.
rain and threes. That guy.
Raining threes.
So
Man, I forget Shea. I forgot Shea was even like playing then. I forgot
he
about
didn't even
him.
have his braids yet. I don't think. I don't think he had his.
I think he
Well,
was still Afro Shea.
I think he was so Afro Shay. I don't think he had his braids. I don't think he was wearing the sleeves and stuff yet either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting team. That was an interesting year. The bubble. First of all, public service announcement. If you're still one of those people that say, "Oh, the Lakers have a Mickey Mouse ring. The bubble was fake." The bubble was pure hoops. Please stop saying that. If you're still one of those people that are saying the Lakers have a Mickey Mouse ring, the bubble that was a fake ring. Please shut up. You don't know basketball. The bubble was literally just pure hoops. Guys in a gym playing basketball. And I feel like if LeBron didn't win that ring, I feel like literally I don't understand. Like everybody had the same opportunity to win a ring, but because LeBron won it, they're like, oh, let's make excuses. So just stop. But so James Harden, would you have liked to see him retire as a Sixer?
It would not matter to me at all. Like he was good for us, I would say, but he wasn't that good to dump all our money into him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't good enough to really like prioritize him
He
over other
wanted
things.
he wanted that security because he wanted like that 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
and it sucks because he's no longer what he was, and he definitely wanted that security. He wanted that bag, and I just don't think any. I did hear where like, oh, if he did say what he said about being like what he used to be, that the Rockets would have given him like that deal. They would have given him that contract. That's
Mm.
I feel like Brian Windhorst or somebody said something like that. I don't know. There's so much fake news out there now, which I'm like, I don't know what's true and what's not. But I definitely think I get it because James was good, but he always finds just ways to blame other people, and it's like, bro, you've had so many failures. You had like, because I like the Sixers only because I like everything Philly, and just watching him play like those 2 games in the playoffs, I was like, man, we got a shot. Like the Sixers really got a shot this year, and then he just disappeared in Game Seven, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I just think James, if he does, I think if he doesn't win a ring this year, you're gonna get. I feel like he might get. He might end up getting the what's it called, the Carmelo Anthony treatment,
Mm.
where Carmelo was like gone for like a year and a half, 2 years, nobody signed him. He
Yeah.
might get that treatment. But on to our last topic, and then we'll skedaddle on out of here. LeBron said today that he would still be at this level, the level of player he's at, even if he never joined the Heat. What do we think about that?
I have no like what like does he mean like status wise as like being like people thinking he's the GOAT or like
I
just
think
out
he basically had said like he would have been the same he would have been the same caliber of like player, the same dominant of player. Um, Even if he didn't join the Heat, I think he had said something like, "I would have been the same player, just with a little less rings." Do you think being going to Miami was a pivotal moment? Like, do you think he needed that? Like, is he still the LeBron James we know today, even if he didn't go to the Heat?
I don't I don't think so because going to the Heat he learned how to play defense.
Yeah, that's
Because
yeah.
when he's on the Cavs, he was just had to handle the offense so much that he didn't even really
He
play
couldn't
as
play defense. Yeah,
he played defense, but he didn't play to
well,
the caliber LeBron could play at.
mm,
Because LeBron playing defense is a great defensive player. He just can't do it because
right.
he understands that he has to save his body,
Yeah.
and his
Um.
team needs to score. So I really and also just going to the Heat and made him play with other players that were like really good, and you don't get
Yeah.
that experience as much if you don't go there,
Right.
So let's say the Cavs do still get like a Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving type people, but I don't know how that would even work. But still, if they
Right.
did, hypothetically speaking, like he wouldn't mesh as well quickly as they did because he's not used to playing with all-star caliber players yet.
Right. Yeah. I definitely don't. Do you still see him as like top 10?
Man, he's not even top 10 right now. What are you talking about?
Wow.
I'm joking. I'm
I was
joking.
saying
I'm
no.
joking.
I'm definitely that's definitely a TikTok. Definitely making that into a TikTok. Definitely making that into a TikTok. So now people are gonna see that and they'll be like, "What?" They're definitely gonna have to like watch. Definitely making that into a TikTok. But I don't know if he. I mean, is it same caliber player? I don't know. He kind of like you said, that 2012 LeBron man, oh man, that was something. Like he was like, I think Doc Rivers has said it best one time. He has said like one time that he was like when he was in Cleveland, he was just playing basketball.
Mhm.
Like that's what he was doing. But he said when he got to Miami, like he became an entirely different beast. Like he became all around. Like that's when he was like, this is not the same LeBron James we're playing. Like the same that like because at the time he was in Boston and he was saying how when LeBron was in Cleveland, like that's we could just he was just playing ball and that's just when he was like LeBron when he went to Miami was just a different beast. Like he was entirely different. Um, is he still a level of dominance? I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, at 6'8", what 250, 260, you're still gonna be dominant. Like he said, definitely without the rings. Um, you probably have what two less rings, two, three less rings. Um, but I think he's still going to be a dominant player just given his size and athletic ability, his IQ. It's still LeBron, but I don't think we hold him as regards. A lot of people, I feel like there's a 50-50 split, LeBron or Jordan, as terms of the GOAT. But I feel like if he didn't go to Miami, we definitely don't hold him in that regard. I think he's probably still top 10, but not GOAT status.
If he doesn't go to Miami, he's basically like the new Damian Lillard. Everyone gonna be like, man, why'd you go? Why don't you go to another team? He was like, I can't run from the grind. I can't run from the grind.
Then Dame Lillard ended up running from the ground. Well, he didn't
He
run,
ran
but
from the grind.
I don't even understand that whole Damian Lillard. I'm like, that trade became like 2 years too late. I'm like, why?
Literally.
Like, I just don't understand. Like, that's a whole nother discussion. I don't understand the whole Dame thing. It was so annoying. Every other day it was, oh, there's another team. Here's another team. He might get traded today. Dame watch. Like, I'm so tired of this. But same thing else you have for us?
It was like 2017, and I'm seeing people like, oh, Damian Lillard might be traded. 2023 now.
Hey man, they're him and Giannis are doing. They're doing okay. They're doing all
They ain't
right.
gonna beat my Sixers though. That's all I could say.
Hey man, who's gonna beat your Sixers?
Nobody. The Nuggets.
Exactly.
Only the Nugget.
Is there anything else you had for us before we close out?
No, it's not. No, it's not that.
All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Um, we'll make sure to have more content out for you guys. We're gonna try and get up to 30 subscribers. We're gonna trust the process.
Trust the process.
We're always trusting the process. We're gonna try and grow each and every single day. So, Jaden, is there anything else you want to say for us?
Nope.
All right, peace out, you guys. See you later. Much love.